Sebastian Zietz and Wade Carmichael now have priority over Michel Bourez and Ricardo Christie, which is just getting started. Joe Chappelle with Potts for the call, as the conditions are perfect, making two big finals last season. One was in Rio and one was at this venue, and that prediction came before the season started last year. He's always expected to do well at this wave. Ricardo Christie getting started against Michel Bourez. It's a quick carve, warm-up wave, and he'll get out of there.
Is the premier event that's got to be around for a long time, I think.
That's true. You think of that, the super long event up at the Gunston 500 was one of the longest events in history. It's actually still going if you count the move up to Bolito, which David Silva just won. A couple of big power wraps from Michel Bourez. Now emerging back out in front. Aggressively just throwing down that down carve. Running with this inside track. Beats that section on the roof with a float. Attacks that lip line and gets out of there. Some of those waves that get a little smaller size and hug the inside bricks are moving so quickly. You can see Michel making sure his turns are right to keep with the pace of the wave. And that score will put him in the lead over Ricardo.
You can tell by the size of the wave there that Michel Bourez is in that second priority situation, but he doesn't need much to do that, does he? Some big turns from Perez. Tries to sneak around here. Now watch the speed that Michel Bourez can get. One of the more powerful guys on tour right here. He hits the gas. Gets those legs pumping. Nice little lip line float. Big snap at the end there. So Michel Bourez looking sharp. Watch this opening maneuver, Joe. Tell me how much power that he puts into that. Right there, just the screen isn't big enough to show the entire spray. That is absolute power surfing at its best from Michel. Look at the upper body, how he pivots off that. Gives him that whip into that next turn. You know what, sometimes not winning that first heat, that first seeding round heat is not a bad thing. Gives you another shot at J-Bay.
Michel up, big searing gouge. Right in the pocket, drills it again, the Tahitian. Straight into a vertical climb. Fourth move just to get over the lip. He's hoping he's got a little bit more of a double up here. It's going to drop him off early. Grew up with a very talented surfing family. His family all rips. Coming from the island of Kauai as we see Michel Bourez lock into a glassy section. Roundhouse, power hack on the rebound. Throws some water into the sky on that top turn carve. Pushes hard on that full wrapping cutback. Layback hack. Flexing through every single section. Now patient towards this part of the wall, tags it. Stays open for another off the top to finish.
Perez is kind of rolling the dice quite a bit, you know, maybe just he's the kind of guy that needs to warm up and get those muscles happening, get all that, everything in the right place at the right time, and he's looking sharp right here. Even though the waves are small, and I think that's maybe a little bit to do with the scores. 5.83 on the wave before, I thought might have been a little higher. And then this one here again, it's going to come in very similar score line. But Michel Bourez, more rolls of the dice, less patient. Ricardo Christie waiting and biding his time, sitting out the back, maybe saving his energy for the back part of the heat.
Totally different approach, even on every single section. How'd you like this version of power?
Oh, I love it. I mean, you could watch it all day long, couldn't you? It's and that, you know they feel good too. You know, Michel's having a lot of fun out there right now. That board looks great under his feet. You can hear those fins screaming under the water.
Ricardo being a bit more selective on his second effort in this heat. Big, powerful vertical whip right in the pocket. Power hack again down the line for Ricardo. Three big moves and then a fourth open face hook to try to keep tabs on the Spartan. Well-surfed wave for Ricardo.
Perez gets another opportunity. Stabs into the pocket a couple of times. And a third one for good measure. Gets the opportunity to go to that big drawn-out wrap. Every move performed with plenty of aggression. As he rolls through to the inside, that wave starting to bottom out. He wants nothing to do with it.
Finish that really excites you. a bit more wall, a bit more open face, and doing his work really tight to the pocket, as you can see there, straight up into the pocket. Gets a bit more of a wrap here, sees his opponent on the inside, couple more turns. This wave continued to run, and Michel continued to score.
Ricardo Christie is going to use his priority on this one. Racing down the line, Ricardo Christie up against Michel Bourez, looking for a 5.57 here in the round of 32 to get himself the lead. Just under 19 minutes to go here at Jeffreys Bay, including Ricardo Christie, who's banked a 9.7 here before.
Some good turns with some down-the-line speed combined. Drives around the section, whips that beautiful arc. The wave gets smaller towards the end. We'll get it right. Here we go, Ricardo Christie during the interview. Got a 5.9 before, and behind it we saw the 6.93 come through for Michel Bourez. Needs a 6.51 on this wave. Look at this beautiful line at Jeffreys Bay. Up into the pocket. Late, gets stuck behind for a sec. Gets the closer up and into the lip. It's in that ballpark, that's for sure.
Love this shot too. Look at the kids playing on the shore break. Perfect waves reeling through here at Jeffreys Bay on day 5 of the event window.
It's pumping. Massive crowds on hand as well. Saturday here around the middle of the day as we see Ricardo Christie through to those last couple of inside turns.
A lot of speed. Big section standing up. Beautiful big float to get started here. Up onto the roof again. Plants this one. Moves out onto that open face. Draws that cut back onto the foam. Rebounds nicely. Now looking for some steeper wall to dig into. And climbs this section. The wave doubling up. And Michel will again whip through a frontside carve. And this wave, it started so well, but it kind of broke into 2 sections down the line. It didn't really stay steep, and he didn't find a big section to finish it on. But the 2 big floaters were awesome. Covered so much ground at the start.
Have a look at it here. Couple of pumps at the bottom. Beautiful snap out of the top. Now he's pumping down the line. Floats this section. Gets up there early. Straight into the next bottom turn. Into that. Beautiful floater, and then into a nice wrap. I think Michel was happy about the completion of so much variety. Floaters, snaps, and then down through the inside. A few re-entries. Could have got a little higher on the face perhaps on that one. Another beautiful wrap, and plenty of time for Michel as he made his way through the inside to enjoy it, and then gets the claim at the end of it. Love this angle down through the inside. There's that float. You watch drive straight into this second one. Maximum speed, maximum distance travelled. Little flat on the face, and this is where you were talking about, Ronnie. Sort of flattened out, and the speed that was there at the first part of the wave kind of got a bit disjointed in terms of the manoeuvres connecting. It didn't have that same flow as the start of the wave.
Yeah, sometimes that double up on the inside turns into just the most glorious ride, a big barrel, but not on that occasion. Ricardo, his wave, start to finish, probably had more opportunity.
Getting a little messy down, frothy down the inside here. Another turn out of the lip. I'm just not sure that the turns we saw on that wave.
He's paddling, the onside announcer counting it down. And he is to his feet. Let's see what he can do. Ricardo Christie digging deep on his last ride. Smooth carve off the top to set up this turn. Nice big hook. A smaller wave, so he's really going to have to surf out of his skin here. Goes for that layback jam. Loading up, might need an air down the line here. Nice hook there. Quality surfing, but it's just not going to be enough, and he knows it. And Michel Bourez winning the first head-to-head matchup he's had with Ricardo Christie. He's moving on through when we return from the break. Another big heat hits the lineup with Seth Moniz and Pedersen Crisanto.